Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, and I'm out on another walk. In a previous video, I walked up Mill Hill looking over Rodmell in East Sussex, just south of Lewes, and the route took me up to the top of this hill here as I was charting, vaguely, positions of windmills. Just an excuse really to have a bit of a walk. I love walking the British countryside through heritage where possible and exploring the landscape. Today I'm sort of continuing on this walk on what is a muddy downward track westwards away from Rodmell, or Rodmell as it may well be pronounced, and I'm curious to see what is beyond this rather large steep hill in front of me to try and get some of the terrific views. I know that many of my viewers are unable to get out onto the lovely South Downs anymore, and part of my remit, I suppose, is to try and do some of these walks for those people who are unable to experience it for themselves, and take my trusty camera out to do the exploring, because sometimes still pictures do not do it justice, and it's nice to get that feeling that you're actually moving around. So that's very much the purpose of this video. And coming down this steep hill, and you can see this sort of terrific bowl shape in the downs on my left, which is quite remarkable. Beautiful the way the scenery does that, just sort of carved out. Presumably all of this, which is chalky downland, has been thrown up eons ago when there was huge movements from the earth. The ocean, of course, was created. Let's say the ocean, the channel was created. The Ice Age came, and then presumably as the Ice Age also shifted and melted and moved, these great combes, these valleys, have been left here for all of us to enjoy. And now, of course, much of it is modern farmland. These areas would have been the home to ancient Britons, Neolithic people living in their little huts, their round houses, particularly as you get on towards the Bronze Age and the Iron Age, with the hill forts on the top of the downs protecting their farmland and creating the early settlements. And what a fabulous place it would have been. The Neolithics, of course, clearing the woodlands that was swathing the countryside, and leaving now what we pretty much unchanged. There was some deforestation, I believe, in the 18th and 19th century, but most of the work was actually carried out in the Neolithic times, pre-Roman. I'm going to climb up this hill here and get some more views as I progress along. We're in March, and we're just about to come into British summertime. Spring is here, and already in some parts blossom is exploding onto the trees. It's been a bit late, I think, because we've had quite a bit of snow, sudden last minute of snow, but it'll soon be lush with colour, and I can't wait. I'll just progress up a bit further and show you some of the views when I made a bit more progress. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I've progressed a little further. I started on the hill behind me with the house and the forest trees, and I'm making my way up here. All around me, beautiful countryside. You really get the sense that you are remote now on the downs, as the sun peeking through the clouds illuminates the countryside, and the great swathes of fields here you can see illuminated by the sunshine is absolutely magnificent. And this whole stretch of downs, which I'm proud to be walking on, ancient countryside, full of old tumulus from ancient burial mounds, many of which have been ploughed in now, unfortunately. An ancient path like the one I'm on, probably trod over the centuries by lots of people. And there, look, a farmer heading off on his quad bike, going to do something in the distance there. Coming up to another gate, so I shall come through this gate. Bit of a noisy gate. One of the rules of the countryside, of course, is to always close the gates behind you and make sure that they are firmly closed, because often there is cattle or sheep and they don't want to be let out. It's a right pain for the farmer if that happens. A bit more of a glimpse down to Newhaven in the distance there, and I think that's Seaford Head. I can just make out behind me, and there's the farmer on his quad bike. Oh wait, I went to wave to him but he didn't see me. I assume he's topping up the feed for his cattle or sheep. It is somewhat of a windy day today, and I notice I'm in a field now of Friesians. I'm not a great lover of cows. I just have that fear that they're going to push me over and trample me to death. I know it's an irrational fear, I know. They're probably more frightened of me. Well, the aim of this walk was very much to try and get to the top of this bit of the hill and see what we can see. And here, look, now there's an indentation here on the ground that may have been a piece of tumuli, a burial mound, or it may have been a dew pond. Sometimes it's very difficult to tell. These things do get ploughed in and destroyed. But there, looking back, you can see the white cliffs in the distance where they've been quarrying the chalk, and then the town there is Lewes. Certainly a magnificent sight. I'm being blown here. I don't know how much is being picked up on the microphone. And then this walk clearly goes on for several miles. Unfortunately, my time is running out, so I'm going to have to say goodbye. But as I said before, the remit, my purpose for sometimes doing just walks, just blatant walks on the downs, is really to show off the landscape. There's no real purpose to it than that, and to be able to take those who are unable to get out with me and enjoy the countryside. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and will subscribe and follow me on my travels as I go and try to go further afield. And don't forget, you can support me by becoming a patron. I'll put the address on the screen. Become a patron, help me out, put petrol in the car, and I'll go further afield and do many more of these wonderful walks. So thank you so much, and I'll see you on the next one. Till then, goodbye.